Hello, I'm Matt Munson, and welcome to episode 5 of my fitness odyssey. I didn't want to call it a fitness journey because that's sort of been overdone. And besides, if it's an odyssey, well then it's gonna be epic. Huh? See, because like the Odyssey is an epic okay, anyway. I have a lot to cover this video, so I'll get right to it. I'm gonna talk a little about what happened over the past week. I got a DXA scan. I'd love to talk about that. And I also started the next phase of my program, so I'll tell you a little about that. So first up, the statistics. Today is day 103 of my program. My current weight is 223 pounds, which means since my last weigh-in, my last video, I'm down another 4.1 pounds, which I gotta tell you, I did not expect at all. Things have been kind of different over the past week. Not really bad. I haven't been eating badly. Things have just been different. For example, on Sunday, I went to a Friendsgiving celebration where, there was like the full turkey dinner spread. And while I didn't go crazy by any stretch, in fact, I feel like I had a very conservative plate of food, it was still outside of the boundaries that I normally have set up for myself. I didn't really know how many calories were in it. I didn't know how any of the food was prepared, but it didn't seem to matter. And I also had a birthday recently, and my good friends took me out for a night on the town, and I ended up having a couple alcoholic beverages. That's for grown-ups only, kids, so watch out. But I made some different choices. Usually I'd have one type of drink, and this time I tried to really focus on drinks that weren't heavy in sugar and calories. And even though they have alcohol, which is not ideal, nor does it fit into my plan, it turns out those choices are important. So for example, I was having tequila and tonic with lime, which is delicious. Thank you, Pasquale, for the tip. But it's tons of calories less than like a full-on margarita, for example. Punchline is, still going along really well. 223 current weight, feeling really good about it. Found a good before picture recently, which I'll put up on the screen here. This was taken maybe a month after my surgery, maybe 6 weeks after my surgery, and this was around, I would say this is me at my heaviest. And compared to a picture I took today, you can see a noticeable difference, I hope. Okay, so a DXA scan. I got one just the other day. It's like an X-ray machine, but it scans your whole body and it figures out the composition of your body as far as like weight goes and muscle versus fat versus bone, and it tells you where you stand. This turned out to be a rude awakening for me. I think what's interesting is when you look in the mirror every day, I think I've said this before, you don't really see changes happening. And then one day you'll look at some pictures from a few months ago and you realize how drastic changes have become. But because it's incremental day over day, because you're looking in the mirror, there's some sort of psychological distortion that happens in there. And I don't think you end up seeing a real picture of yourself. So while I have lost a lot of weight, 57 pounds as of this video, I still have a long way to go. And I forget that sometimes. Like I look in the mirror and I'm like, man, I'm so thin. And then I realize that's the juxtaposition against where I used to be. I'm very thin compared to where I used to be, but I still have a long way to go. So the DXA scan, it revealed my body fat to be 41.4%, which is more than I expected. And I did a rough calculation, and had I had a DXA scan prior to beginning my fitness odyssey, that would have come in at something like 65% or something. So I did not realize how big I was for sure, nor how bad I was on the overweight/obesity scale. That was not a good place to be. So, not to undermine my tremendous progress, but it is still kind of startling. Fat tissue, 93.1 pounds of fat tissue on my current body, which seems weird, but science doesn't lie, kids. So 93.1 pounds, that doesn't mean I have 93.1 pounds to lose, right? Like I'm not targeting 0% body fat. Maybe, I guess in an ideal world, I'd hit like the 20s. I think I'd be shredded at 20 at my age and height. So I don't have 93 pounds to lose, but it is sort of startling. Lean tissue came in at 125 pounds, which basically means I'm a scrawny dude stuck inside a fat dude's body. The bone mineral content was 6.7 pounds. So if you take away all the fat in my body, all of it, I would weigh 131.7 pounds. And I'm 6'3". So that's pretty scrawny. And that is not my goal, by the way. That's not my goal. So what's great about the DXA scan is it also helps you visualize. It shows you a top-down scan of your body. It was a little unnerving for me because I've lost weight in the past, and recently I have a lot of loose skin. So when I lie down, I sort of pancake out. So when you do a top-down view, like I sort of, it's like a flattened slug monster or something. So it looks weird, but it's very interesting to see, visually see the muscle content versus the fat content. With phase 3 of my program now beginning, I'm making 3 changes. The first one is I'm switching from a cardio regimen to more of a strength training plan. There's a couple reasons for that. One is I think I've sort of gotten everything I can get out of the cardio workout I was doing. I've noticed the weight loss has been slowing more and more as the weeks have gone by. And I just, like, I'll get on the bike and I'll ride it for an hour and I'll break like a light sweat. Whereas before, I'd be pouring in sweat after an hour. And my goal is also to build muscle. And I feel that now that my foot has healed, it's not completely healed, but it's much better. And I can be a lot more active. So for example, 90 days ago, I wouldn't have been comfortable jumping from machine to machine or from dumbbell to dumbbell in the gym because of my ankle. But today, feeling much better. So I've started that. I am doing a modified version of P90X to begin with. Once things get rolling, I believe I will also transition out of that. Change number 2 is I am upping the calorie content for my day. I'm adding in about 500 calories because I believe my body will need those calories to build muscle. On that same topic, those 500 calories are going to be purely in the form of protein. Basically what this means is I'm adding in 2 protein shakes per day. The other change is my plan, nice transition, is to hit protein goals. Before I wasn't paying attention to counting macros at all. Now I'm gonna start. So with my protein, my plan is to take in 200 grams of protein per day. There's plenty of calculators online that will tell you how much protein you need. And I figure with my weight being what it is, with my lean tissue mass being what it is, 200 is about right. And also what I don't want to do is start taking in so many calories that I start gaining a bunch of that weight that took me so long to lose back. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you for everyone who's already subscribed. I appreciate it greatly. It makes me very happy to see that people are interested in my progress. And what's interesting even more is when I go out and about and I run into friends who've either seen my video or seen some pictures, they're very curious. So it's led to some great conversations, and hopefully they're getting as much benefit out of this as I am. So please subscribe. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you didn't like the video, tell me why. Give me a thumbs down and tell me why you didn't like it. Tell me what I could do differently, what I can do better in future videos to make these more interesting or educational. And don't say lighting or sound, because I have my own limitations. Add me on Instagram and Twitter at @MattMunsonFit. Instagram's great, man. I'm kind of new to the party, but man, Instagram's a lot of fun. I'm really having a good time with it. I've connected with some very interesting people, some fellow fitness enthusiasts, and a lot of friends, and it's just such a very different format than what I'm used to, and I really dig it. So I'm hoping to keep generating content, keeping you guys in touch with my progress and activities and all kinds of good stuff. So that's it for this one. Hopefully we will see some results for the next video and I'll have more good news. But I'm not doing another DXA scan for at least another maybe 4 to 6 weeks because I can't handle that blow to my ego. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching and we'll see you for the next one.